Most people think aviation safety begins in the cockpit, but a large part of safety starts long before takeoff. It starts in hangars, on ramps, inside maintenance bays, and in the work done behind the scenes by trained technicians, engineers, inspectors, and operators. An aircraft is not truly ready just because it looks fine from the outside. It must be maintained correctly, documented correctly, and returned to service under the right standards. That is what aviation maintenance is really about, and that is why it plays such a critical role in aviation safety. Aviation maintenance is one of the hidden foundations of the aviation industry. Every safe flight depends not only on pilots and aircraft systems, but also on the people who inspect, maintain, repair, and support the aircraft before it ever leaves the ground. For a country like Belize, where aviation growth can support connectivity, industry, and regional development, understanding maintenance and airworthiness is especially important. Growth in aviation does not come from aircraft alone. It comes from strong standards, skilled people, and a culture of safety. This field also connects closely with STEM education because aviation maintenance combines science, technology, engineering, and mathematics in a very practical way. It is built on problem-solving, technical knowledge, analysis, and hands-on learning. From reading maintenance manuals and using inspection methods to understanding aircraft systems and following technical procedures, aviation training shows how STEM can be applied in the real world. It helps prepare people for skilled careers and supports the development of a stronger technical workforce. Every country or region has its own civil aviation authority responsible for regulating safety, certifying aircraft, and licensing personnel. In the United States, that is the FAA. In Europe, it is EASA, and in Belize, it is the Belize Department of Civil Aviation. On the international level, International Civil Aviation Organization sets standards that influence aviation systems across the world. These systems often align in important ways, but they are not identical, and that matters because work accepted under one authority may not automatically be accepted under another. In aviation maintenance, the key principle is to follow the rules that apply to the aircraft and its state of registry. To work on aircraft, people need training, experience, and the appropriate approvals. Across FAA, EASA, and Belize systems, the exact pathways may differ, but the core idea is the same. Aviation maintenance requires technical competence, English proficiency, hands-on ability, and formal testing or evaluation. Under FAA rules, an A&P certificate allows broad maintenance privileges across many aircraft types, while EASA and Belize-style systems generally require the correct license and aircraft type rating for the aircraft involved. Even where non-licensed individuals may assist under supervision, sign-off, and return to service authority still belong to properly authorized personnel. Airworthiness is the measure of whether an aircraft is safe, suitable, and compliant for flight. In simple terms, an airworthy aircraft conforms to its approved design and is in a condition for safe operation. That means it is not enough for an aircraft to simply function or appear normal. It must also be maintained according to the required standards, supported by the right documentation, and kept within the rules that apply to it. The responsibility for maintaining an aircraft in an airworthy condition ultimately belongs to the owner or operator, but that responsibility is carried out through maintenance, engineering, inspection, and compliance. There are three main types of maintenance activity discussed in this field. An alteration takes an already airworthy aircraft or part and changes it to another approved airworthy state. A repair takes an unairworthy aircraft or part and returns it to an airworthy condition. Continued airworthiness is the ongoing maintenance and preventive work required to keep an aircraft safe over time. These three areas matter because aviation safety is not only about fixing damage when something goes wrong, it is also about managing change correctly and sustaining aircraft safety throughout the life of the aircraft. Not all maintenance work is treated the same. Repairs and alterations can be classified as either minor or major, and that difference affects what type of data and approval are required. Minor work may be performed using accepted data, while major work requires approved data. This distinction matters because once a repair or alteration can significantly affect structure, performance, safety, other qualities related to airworthiness, the work must be controlled more carefully. Aviation maintenance is not just about whether something can be fixed or changed. It is also about whether that work is supported by the correct technical basis and the correct approval path. In aviation, data is not just paperwork. It is the technical foundation that supports maintenance decisions, repair methods, and return to service actions. Manuals, drawings, specifications, repair instructions, and engineering orders all help define how work is performed and whether it meets the required standard. The difference between accepted data and approved data is especially important because the level of risk and regulatory impact can change the type of authorization needed. This is one of the reasons aviation maintenance is such a disciplined field. It depends on traceable instructions, controlled processes, and technical accuracy. A good example of a minor repair is surface damage that remains within allowable limits and can be repaired using the manufacturer's published instructions. In the source material, one example involved lightning strike damage near the pilot's side window on a Boeing 737. Because the repair was already covered by the structure's repair manual and the damage was within limits, it could be handled as a minor repair using accepted data. The work involved blending the damage and repainting the area, allowing line maintenance to complete the repair without needing a new engineering solution outside the approved procedure. A more serious case involved a crack in a critical area of an Airbus A320 lateral cockpit window frame. Because the location was tied to an airworthiness directive and repetitive inspection requirements, this was treated as a major repair. The aircraft manufacturer had to be contacted for repair instructions. Approved data was used, non-destructive testing was performed, and an engineering repair order was created before the work could be completed. Only after the repair was properly carried out and documented could the aircraft be returned to service. This shows how major repairs involve more control, more engineering input, and more formal approval than minor repairs. One of the most important things in aviation maintenance is documentation. Maintenance records show what was found, what was done, what data was used, and who was responsible for the work and inspection. Without that traceability, confidence in the work begins to weaken. In aviation, good maintenance is not only physical work on the aircraft, it is also a controlled system of technical instructions, records, approvals, and accountability. That is why documentation is not something separate from maintenance. It is part of maintenance itself. For Belize, aviation maintenance is not just a technical subject. It is part of building capability for the future. A region that wants to strengthen aviation needs trained personnel, strong standards, regulatory awareness, and a serious maintenance culture. Sustainable aviation development depends on whether the technical systems behind flight are strong enough to support safety and compliance over time. That is why maintenance education, airworthiness understanding, and workforce development all matter. They help build not just better aircraft support, but a stronger aviation ecosystem overall. Aviation maintenance, repair, and airworthiness all come back to one idea: keeping aircraft safe, compliant, and ready for service. Whether the work involves a routine inspection, a minor repair, a major structural issue, or ongoing continued airworthiness, the goal remains the same. The aircraft must meet the required standard before it returns to flight. That is why aviation maintenance is one of the most important parts of aviation safety, and why building knowledge in this area matters for the future of aviation in Belize and beyond. If you found this video helpful and want more practical explainers on aviation maintenance, airworthiness, repairs, and certification, make sure to subscribe and follow Deep Blue Avionics. For more information, visit deepblueavionics.com and let us know in the comments what topic you want us to cover next.